Today, an interview in action from the ViVE event down here in Miami. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16-hospital system and creator of This Week Health, a set of channels dedicated to keeping health IT staff current and engaged. We want to thank our show sponsors who are investing in developing the next generation of health leaders: Gordian Dynamics, Quill Health, Tausight, Nuance, Canon Medical, and Current Health. Check them out at thisweekhealth.com/today. And now, on to our interview. All right, ViVE 2022, and we're here with Russ Branzell with CHIME. Russ, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Russ, it's I love that story from last night, by the way, because I think it's indicative of this conference. This has been a really good conference from where I'm sitting. But last night's story about the concert and everything, it's like the. People missed the party if they weren't here.
There you go.
It was very interesting.
I appreciate that.
Are you going to share any of that story, or is it offline?
Well, no. So we had our final celebration last night, as you often do it at big conferences like this or conferences like this, and so we held it at an event that the facility backs up to the beach here in Miami Beach, and so as things were going really well at the industry night.
Great concert.
Great concert,
a lot of energy.
Gene, and it was really going well. But what we didn't realize was, as people walked up and down the beach and the surrounding hotels, maybe more than just a few people gathered on the beach, to the point where it was considered by the local friends and the police, it might have been more considered a large crowd. By the time we got near the end of the evening, the police finally said, "Okay, this crowd's getting maybe just a bit too big.
A little too big.
You might want to shut it down." And they were very nice. We got all the right permits, everything. There was nothing wrong with what we were doing. They just said, we would appreciate maybe end this a little sooner and disperse this very large crowd that's on the beach. So no, we were happy. Everybody was safe. There was nothing bad about it. It was time to call the evening shot.
I share that story because this has a good amount of energy for the first year you're doing a conference. I've seen some conferences where you go and it's a little sparse. This has really good energy, good
I
connection.
appreciate that.
The CHIME, and the other thing I would say about it is what people were used to is we did CHIME first, and then we went to another conference.
Right.
This is really interconnected. I mean, it's really interesting.
Well, just like healthcare itself, we're rethinking healthcare from its roots. We did the same thing, and as we previously had some relationship with the organization Health and their event, we did a lot of the innovation work with them. It seemed like a natural fit. They operate on a whole different level. We're constantly trying to push ourselves in the industry to a whole nother level. I've said it a couple times this week from stage. There's rare chances in life where 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals some much other great number. Now, I keep using 8 this week, I don't know why, it's a random number. But it's that strange place where all of a sudden everything just starts to click. It's that symbiotic relationship. You've done it with staff. When you've had people on your team, you go, okay, why does this work so well, but with another human being it doesn't work so well? We've done this with 2 large teams where everybody seems to really work in a cohesive manner, but it's really what we're trying to do. This is such a different intent of an event. We're not trying to compete with other events. We're not trying, everybody goes, are you trying to compete with the other shows? No, this is what we think the industry needs, a much different flavor of event and how it works.
One of the things I've liked about the health event, I've gone since the first one in Vegas way back when, and it brings pharma, it brings the payers, it brings health tech, finance, VCs, private equity. You get a lot of announcements at the event, and I like that energy and that vibe. But traditionally, the CHIME membership wasn't there.
That's correct. And matter of fact, we went to health just last year. Well, we've been to the last 3. When we've had small groups there, we've done some things there. I think some of the more progressive digital health leaders are there because they're working with the startups. Right. They're working with the investment community, PEs, venture capitalists, that kind of stuff. But that's not your traditional market. This kind of marries that together. It intentionally isn't exactly like health. It's also not exactly like anything else we've done before for health IT.
The number one thing I've heard from people is they appreciate interacting with the different players that are here. The hosted buyer program has been a huge hit.
Yeah, the hosted buyer program's interesting because, the last thing Bill, hey Bill, you like to do some speed dating? Well, that doesn't sound fun at all when you think of it that way. but there's some pretty serious rules and structure to how this operates, and it's very small sessions. Most of the people that are on the supplier side or whatever that sign up for this only sign up for a few. It's not like you're going to get hounded for hours. But even if you're a provider, a CIO, you're whoever who participates in the program, you do, I mean, up to 8 for 15 minutes. So it's 2 hours of your life. I've talked to a few of them that said, I had no idea this company did this. And a few of them said, it's actually kind of a neat way to get to talk to people. And you know there's a time limit. You don't have to sit there.
It's all the
15 minutes and I'm out of here if I don't like it,
right.
kind of deal. So it seems to be like a really good fit. Health's done this for years, so we've just kind of capitalized on their expertise of this.
Well, and I've heard positives from both sides. I've heard it from the vendor partner side, and they said, I finally got to sit down with somebody, fill in the blank. And on the other side, because we don't like getting hounded. There was a year where they put CIO underneath our badge, and we had to walk through the
floor.
Through the floor, and
I think it was worse. They even made it red.
Yeah, that was hard. And so, to a certain extent, if you're at a certain size health system, you just get hounded as you go through the floor. That was really interesting, and I got a lot of positives of 15 minutes, very structured. I got a lot of information very fast because those organizations know, hey, first 5 minutes, tell me what you do. Why is it relevant to me? Where does it fit? And then, essentially, after that 5 minutes, you can go, hey, you know what? It's not a fit for us. How do you like the conference? How are things going? What are you seeing in the industry? That kind of stuff. And I've heard some people say, I made a connection with somebody who I think is going to benefit, long-term my health system. The thing people are going to say to me is, they're going to ask me, and I'm going to ask you, success for the first year of doing this?
So we defined some metrics, some ideas, some thoughts as we rolled into this. And I think I told you this when we were just chatting outside of this. It wasn't 2 months ago with Omicron where there was a doubt in our mind whether we were even going to be able to pull this off or have to delay it. And so we had some pretty, what we consider realistic numbers, goals, engagement goals, those kinds of things, mainly really coming off of Omicron and COVID. We blew past those. And I think those are important as far as the success of an event financially and those kinds of things. What we're more concerned about, and we're going to do a lot of surveying, a lot of interviews and post-interviews, is was it the right tone? Was it the right tenure? Was it the right size of a floor for this kind of thing? I mean, even the floor was completely rethought. When you tell these booths at other events that are, 200 by 200, the biggest booth anybody could have here was a 20 by 30 booth. I mean, you know how big some of the other booths are. Things with 2-story. You tell these giant corporations you get 600 square feet, and they're like, I get what? That's it. And so it's a different mindset as we go through this. So the simple answer is we feel really good about what we've built here that we can build on moving forward. But we're also going to do a pretty deep dive into this. There's a lot of things that we were like, I'll give you an example. We probably overcrowded the schedules. Just too many things stacked up on each other. People couldn't get around. They didn't get breathers. They didn't have time to network enough. Things like that. But it was also, wow, there's so many things we could do. We crammed it all in. So we'll get better, but we were also pretty darn pleased with this week.
So there's still a CHIME Fall Forum.
There is.
Same format as we're used to?
Always. And even here, the CHIME Spring Forum, though a little bit different format, was still just the spring exclusive forum for CHIME members. And that will always be the case. The forum in the fall, well, I will say it's going to be a little bit bigger, and here's why. It is our 30th anniversary, and we do anniversaries a little big at CHIME. We try to invite as many of our legacy back to, and really try to make it super affordable for people that have been around the industry, maybe retired for a lot longer. So I think we'll have a little bit bigger crowd than we normally do, but it's still going to be in that 1,000-person range. And it'll be in San Antonio, one of the favorite locations of our members, in November. And so we're looking really forward to that, mainly because not do we also enjoy seeing all of our current members, but one of those kind of anniversary events, we get to see a lot of the people that have been around. We bring all the past chairs and boards and all that kind of people back. It'll be fun.
And this event is already announced. So this event will be in Nashville next year.
It is. I think it's the third week of March in Nashville. Boy, and I'll tell you, as much as this has been a great place to hold this, we're really looking forward to Nashville. They have rolled out the red carpet for us. They've engaged the entire healthcare community around Nashville, and everybody knows Nashville's kind of healthcare USA. And so not only the provider organizations, but all the other entities there, including up to the mayor's office, is embracing us coming. So we're super excited about Nashville.
Russ, I appreciate you not staying with the status quo, looking at how can we make it better. Better is what every CIO is being tasked with, and I appreciate you doing that with CHIME as well.
All right. Well, I appreciate everything you do, Bill. Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care.